what's up? It's Ace Micheals, and it is the Ace Micheals Show, which you are watching because you care enough about it to commit to it. And I appreciate that. If you want to share the show with other people, you can. You can like it. You can put comments down below. You can always subscribe. Ain't nobody stopping you from subscribing, homie. So you can go ahead and click on subscribe and do that thing. Today, my guest on Biography, a special news show that we have where we talk to people about people, is my girl, Sierra Pittman. Sierra, welcome to the show, darling.
Hi, thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. So I noticed in the background a couple of sunflowers. Let's start right there. Let's get that off the table because people are gonna want to know what up with the sunflowers.
I'm not gonna lie to you. A lot of my life I spent kind of being degraded by other people. They made me feel really shitty about myself because I wasn't like every other girl, and in a world full of roses, be a sunflower. You can spread a lot of joy, and sunflowers are awesome.
Okay, yeah, I ain't got no problem with that. So in a world full of roses, you decided to be a sunflower. And what is the specific thing about sunflowers that are so different? I mean,
For me, I think of them as spreading joy and positivity, spreading your life, spending your life trying to just make other people happy. Don't be a jerk,
Yeah, and that, to me, that encapsulates you. I get that. Ever since I've known you, you've been spreading joy. I'm like, oh my God, here she goes again with the joy. But there's nothing wrong with that. That's a great thing. Here's my question. Why so positive? Why be so positive?
I know life can be full of crap. Seriously. I've gone through a lot, and I always just pull myself right up out of these dark situations that I may or may not have put myself into. And I always learn from it, and I'm always growing and growing. And when you can't really change things around you, you have to do some stuff to make yourself happy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with that. Now you have a unique several couple things about you, but let's talk first about the outward appearance. So you have this kind of strawberry red hair, which makes you that stepchild that people say gets abused all the time, that red-haired stepchild kind of thing going on, the ginger cinnamon toast crunch vibe. So from your outward appearance, did you get bullied a lot? Did people find a way to make you feel like you owed them something because of the way you looked?
Honestly, yeah. And as far as I can remember, I've always just dressed how I want. I'm going to be who I want. So, not all the time have people been happy with that, especially when your hips are huge and sometimes it's hard to find clothes that you can fit into that actually go for your body. And I definitely got a lot of hate from a lot of girls in school for that.
Isn't that something? What were they hating on? Like, what's the thing to hate? They hated you because your hips are wide. They hated you because
they hated that my clothes didn't fit right, and it made them uncomfortable. Because like they could see like my love handles, which love handles can be really hard to hide sometimes, especially when they're sticking out like this. It's like not always easy to find clothes.
Did you always have love handles?
Yes.
Forever? You were born with love handles?
Ever since I got into like 5th grade, I started growing these hips.
Yeah. And I would imagine that the person who liked those hips, when you found someone who was really into that, then they were super happy with that. Like when
sure. Actually, it's kind of funny that you mentioned that. As soon as I got out of high school, I actually started an OnlyFans. Mostly because a lot of people around me were like, hey, you have the body for this. You should try it out. And at first I was not on board for it. But I ended up loving the little side career.
Yeah, OnlyFans is definitely a side career. You could say if anything is a side hustle, that's a side hustle for sure, OnlyFans. So for the people who don't know, which I don't imagine that there's any people out there who don't know, but let's just presume you don't know anything about the www. And there's a thing on the www called OnlyFans. And what OnlyFans is a subscription-based website where you can post content in most people's cases being nude photography or something even better and more juicy of their private life. And if you want to peek into that, you can pay money every month and then you can kind of look at it. I don't essentially see what's wrong with it. It seems like it's the American way. You capitalize on what you've got, right?
Exactly.
But OnlyFans is in an uproar. There's a lot of people who are set against it. There are some government regulated folks who are trying to shut it down, who are like, look, this is wrong. And I don't really get that part. Sierra, you got thoughts on that?
Personally, I think that a lot of people are just sexist and kind of hate on women sometimes. You know, as most people probably know, women have gone through hell and back. Not saying like not every other person has, but you know, being a woman is fucking hard shit. Ever since I was a little girl on the internet, like I used to get harassed by men all the time. So when I got a little bit older, I was like, if I'm gonna get harassed, I might as well make a little money doing it.
Hmm. And so was that the reason? Because you're getting harassed? I can't imagine you getting that
No,
harassed. You're a beautiful
I
girl.
was like, no, like I had a lot of bad stuff happen to me, like people, you know, harassing me because I was a girl on the internet, and by that time I at least had boobs. So, you know, it happened a lot as I was growing up.
I have an interesting story to tell you about. Speaking of, okay, so what we're doing right now is Zoom. We're doing a Zoom interview.
Yes.
And a couple of years ago, I found out about Zoom from a business partner that wanted me to get involved in their business. So every day they had a Zoom meeting. At that
Okay.
time, I was living in a hotel and I was kind of like, this Zoom was not high on my list of priorities, you understand? So it was like, okay, I got 10 minutes for this Zoom meeting and then I got to go. So since I was at the hotel, I was naked most of the time. I was ready to get ready and go, you know? And for some
Exactly.
reason, it didn't dawn on me that Zoom was a platform where they could see me. I thought I could only be, you know, into their meeting. I didn't know that everybody in the meeting could also see me in the room. So in that sense, I guess I was kind of on OnlyFan because I was the only fan who was watching me. I had my own subscription to my own porn show until my buddy told me one time, he's like, Ace, you know we can see you. And I was like, what exactly does that mean? Anyway, so yeah, that was my story of OnlyFan. But
Oh my gosh.
it's
Um,
interestingly because now, you know, the government wants to say who can have an abortion. Obviously, we're not
yeah,
talking about who can, women. They're saying women can't have an abortion.
I
But
know.
the government would never say, if you accidentally impregnated a woman, we're going to chop your dick off. That
Right.
would change things. If they said, if you accidentally raped a woman, we're going to have to take all of your semen out of your body because that's what's up. Or if you got a woman pregnant, you're going to have to raise the baby, not her. You get what I'm saying? So this whole
Exactly.
thing is slanted towards ways to keep women oppressed by telling women what to do with their bodies. Now, you clearly don't want anybody telling you what to do with your body. That's why you have your OnlyFans. Now, the question, are you making money with it? Like, is it an actual profitable thing for you?
Each month on my OnlyFans, I make at least $100, sometimes
Okay.
more.
Okay.
And I've had this OnlyFans for exactly 12 months now, and I've made about $21,000.
Did you,
So,
the- did you,
oh,
did you say 2 1 comma 0 0 0
oops, I meant
21?
2,100. I'm sorry.
Okay. 2100 is still exceptional. I
Yeah,
would much
it is.
rather
And
make
honestly, it's a lot
2100
of
than
work.
owe 2100. Yeah, that's great. Okay, so let's talk about the OnlyFans. So you obviously you got the OnlyFans. I should let you know as my disclosure that I have been to the OnlyFans of yours.
Okay.
and I am a satisfied visitor. I'm a cheap customer, so I didn't sign up for the full boat, but I got what I could for what I least I could. So that's me. But you seem extremely liberated on there. You seem like you're very comfortable with what you're sharing, and that's what we should all be, right? That's living
Exactly.
life, isn't it? Isn't that the best thing you could do in life?
Exactly. We should all just be happy with who we are and what we do. And honestly, you can't really care what other people think, or else you're just gonna get upset and insecure.
And
Like
clearly
I
you
did like I did before I did OnlyFans. I was very insecure. I always thought I was like one of the ugly girls, the geeks. Not that geeks are ugly. I think they're hot.
Well, yeah, I mean, clearly you are hot and you've got a partner who agrees with this and is comfortable. So it's between two consenting adults. What's the
Exactly.
problem? Who can say what's wrong with that? Nothing's wrong with it. That's you guys being happy, right?
Exactly. We're very happy, and he helps me actually make content. So not only am I just taking like nude pictures, but I do special videos. I even have sex videos on there. So you can get pretty much anything you could pretty much see on Pornhub on my OnlyFans.
So now that brings up that's the loaded question right there. So you're doing this OnlyFans with your partner, it's consensual, but yeah, you are doing sex on camera. Does
Yeah,
that make you a porn star?
I think about it a little bit like that. I mean, when I was living in Vegas, I was a showgirl and I considered being a stripper because it was not that different.
Hmm.
So, like, I'm honestly comfortable with being in the sex business as long as I'm not actually giving out sex.
Yeah. And what is the sex business, in your opinion? If I say, here's a sentence, the sex business is,
So it's exactly what people would think, supporting prostitutes, women who are strippers, women who like um actually entertain half of the world, it seems. But yet there's a lot of hate on that sometimes. Um, and I've definitely noticed that. I've actually gotten some hate from people in my town before, and personally, I don't care what they think.
doesn't it seem strange to you? Like, here's the thing called sex, right? You've got this thing that is completely natural. Everybody's born from it. There's not a single person who's gotten here on this planet Earth from unsex. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, sex is a norm. It's as normal as humans got to drink water to live. You got to drink
Mhm.
water if you're a human. So if you came into this earth, probably you came from vagina at some point. So every time you take a shower, you see naked people. Every time you're in a mirror, you see naked people.
Mhm.
So what is the big deal about seeing college girls naked? If I went to college, I could see college girls naked for free. So what's the big deal about all of a sudden someone's charging me $8.99 a month to see naked people?
Well, to be honest, one thing I really like to do with my OnlyFans is I like to share not only my sexy body, but I also like to share a little bit about who I am. And a lot of people seem attracted to who I am. A lot of my
Yeah.
fans actually like who I am as a person.
Yeah, and you are super sexy. And you know what it is that makes you super sexy? There's a difference between your sexuality and your sensuality. Not everybody is born with sensuality. We're all
Okay.
born with sexuality. That's just who we are. That's our makeup. But some people can have that extra bit of something that makes you curious, that makes you want to see more. I just watched the Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee documentary film, and
Okay.
there's a scene in there where Pam is talking to Tommy and she says, this sex tape thing, for you, it's not a big deal because you're a guy. You can actually brag about it that you got to have sex on camera with a supermodel. But me, it's destroying my whole life. Like, people they look at me now like I'm a degradation of what I am. I've worked hard to have a career. I'm on a #1 TV show, and all people want to do is say, "Oh, look, her 2 bits are out. Wow!" And it's a cheap ploy to have this sex tape from Pam's perspective. Now, do you get concerned yourself that one day this OnlyFans might interfere with another career that you could have?
Thought about that before, but personally, if it does get in the way of that, I'm just going to be okay with it because I made this choice. And to be honest, I look at myself making a lot of money. You know,
Right.
I really try hard with advertisement, which is not very easy to get on the internet every day and, talk to a lot of people and try to spread your business. Honestly, I get told things like, go kill yourself. And that's pretty fucked up if I would say so.
This
But
is
they
what
added me.
this is what people are saying because you're showing off your body that you could
Exactly.
go kill yourself.
Yeah. It's pretty
well,
stupid.
well,
It's
what is the
just
criterion for going and killing yourself? It seems like the bar has been raised very high now. You gotta wow.
exactly. I know. It's pretty fucked up. I was actually told that last week after this guy added me on my personal Snapchat, actually. I had no idea who he was. So I was like, okay, hey, just to let I have an OnlyFans, subscribe. I gotta advertise.
Now, I remember you had an alphabet policy of anxiety. I remember you were describing it as a something da la 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 la. So you had a serious problem with anxiety. Now, I haven't spoken with Sierra for it's been a good year.
Yeah.
I can remember, and I haven't seen you in person because of the pandemic. I don't think I saw you during the pandemic, except maybe one time you came to the studio. All that to say that you used to have a real big problem with anxiety that to me was visible. But now you seem very centered and you seem very at ease. Am I misreading something, or is that the way things have
I kinda I definitely suffer from anxiety. I have ADHD, which is um, very hard to deal with every day. But the thing is about my OnlyFans is I can express who I am, and then people tell me that they love what I do, and it really helps my confidence. It really helps my self-esteem because I feel pretty good about it, And honestly, I haven't had anyone who matters say anything about it. My mom's very supportive. My family seems supportive. My boyfriend's very supportive, obviously.
mm-hmm. How does
So
that feel
I
to
mean,
have your folks be supportive? Like, what are they supportive of? The fact that you're comfortable having sex on camera, or the fact that you are, or the fact that you're making money, or like
it,
what is it that they pull you aside and pat you on the back and say, "Hey, I saw that blowjob video. Nice job, girl. Nice job." I mean,
it's
what?
just because they hear about how much money I'm making, and they've kind of learned a little bit about OnlyFans from the internet and how it's not very easy to get $100 in 1 month if you actually ask most beginners.
So would you
So
do
to be able to do that,
would you do it for free? Like, is it just about the money, or do you love it so much you would do it for free if it wasn't a monetary option?
well, I definitely wouldn't do it for free if OnlyFans stopped and I didn't have any other way to do it. I probably wouldn't do it for free just because, I mean, why would I? Um, show off my body for free. But I do have a free OnlyFans where I let people actually have a little bit of an insight of things they can see for free. And then on that one, they can buy separate videos and pictures that I didn't, that I'm charging for,
And,
getting my money.
and so, is it how it works that, let's say you and your man are chilling out on a Friday night, and then you guys start kissing a little bit because you really love the Transformers movie, and then you say, "Well, grab the camera, grab the lights. Let's make some money right quick." You know what I'm saying? Like, how does that work into
Basically,
your life?
but most of the time, I actually put on a bold ass look like this and I do some teasers first, and I actually get ready to do content. I plan certain days throughout the week because I have a full-time job. So it's not very easy to be able to work my job and make content every night when I'm exhausted.
Like now, for example, are you gonna OnlyFans after this? Like, are you gonna get off and like Batman? You know what I mean? Like you now Bruce Wayne, but then you go into OnlyFans mode where you got like a whole little dungeon set up, and you know what I'm saying? Like, how deep is it?
Honestly, yeah, I can go from immediately just hanging out with friends to, all right, I'm gonna go home and make some content now because I gotta make my money. You know, my fans would be very disappointed if I didn't post, regularly. And I've actually done that a couple times out of depression, and I feel pretty bad for that. So, I work really hard to keep my fans happy and, hope that they resubscribe every month.
God bless America. Isn't this a wonderful world that we're living in where you can make as much money as you want in your bedroom, bathroom, dorm room, whatever. I think it's brilliant that you can do that. Now again, we go back to the oldest profession in the world. Women have been making money off the fact that they're sexy forever. And that part's never going to go away. So whether it's OnlyFans or before whatever was before OnlyFans and whatever was before that and whatever was before MySpace, that's a real thing. So now we find yourself, you're doing the stuff. What benefits have come out of it besides the money? Like has someone noticed you on the street and been like, oh my God, Sierra, 7 p.m. tonight, right? I'll see you there. You know what I mean? Like,
I've had people try to pay me to sleep with them, but I don't do meets. That's what we call them when girls who do OnlyFans or sell content, actually go up and meet up with guys. So a lot of us will say no meets. You
okay.
can pay to video chat with me. You can pay to, you know, get certain videos, custom videos that you want, or you can just buy content for me. But I'm not gonna go and have sex with you for money. I don't really want to do that.
What's your favorite thing to do? And you don't have to get real graphic, but it's kind of sexy if you do. But what's
I
your
really,
personal favorite thing to do on your OnlyFans?
I really love when I dress up hella fucking cute and I got a whole ass look on, and then I play a song that I really like that turns me on usually, and I do like a sexy little dance, and I'm like playing with my hair, showing off my sunflowers, and like I just kind of like undress in front of the camera, or I just do a sexy dance and I call it a teaser. And that I use to, kind of be like, hey, come to my OnlyFans and you're gonna see more.
Right, and that's your own personal thing. Now, has anyone ever asked or requested or suggested a thing that you were like, "Oh hell no, that's too much. I ain't no."
Oh, for sure. One thing that I really don't like when people ask me to do is do girl on girl. And I have nothing against lesbians. I'm in a relationship. I have to be loyal to my boyfriend.
Oh, now there's an interesting thing. So, someone wants you to do girl on girl, and if you weren't in this relationship, you might. Are you bisexual?
Curious. I've never actually done anything with a girl before. But
Hmm.
I would say I'm bi curious because I mean, who can admire a nice set of tits?
I Hey, that's probably the strongest word to describe it I've heard today. Yeah, who can? Who can? Nobody. Even
Exactly.
babies like tits. Hello. You know. So
Come
that's
on.
interesting.
Women are fucking sexy. And every day that I can, when I just see someone looking really good and they're feeling themselves, I'm just gonna be like, hey, I like your shirt. Hey, you look really good today. I'm just gonna spread some positivity.
So I'm going to ask you this question, and I don't mean any offense. I'm just a questionable guy. I got questions. Uh,
Right.
does it affect your sexual performance? Like when you know that you've been on OnlyFans, you know that people have looked at you and they think you're sexy. Does that make you perform better in your personal private sex?
Actually, yes, it does. Because now I'm not so insecure if I'm as ugly as I was told back in school. But now that I'm like an adult, I get told a lot that I'm actually really pretty. So I just go and I run with it. I do my makeup how I like. It's how I express myself a lot of the time. And I put on an outfit that I really like.
Yeah, you are really pretty. See, I always thought you were super attracted to me, but now I realize I'm super attracted to you, so that's fine. But and now I'm just a computer voyeur on you, so there you go. But is it important? Now think about this before you answer, because we're going to run out of time in about 5 minutes. But I want to ask you this question, as I would ask anyone this same question. Is it important, and how important is it how you look to other people?
It actually doesn't matter, what other people think most of the time. Most of the time it's just about how you feel about yourself. But sometimes you question yourself for a long, long time because of other things that people said, people from a long time ago that you still remember. And it just kind of brings out that insecurity that you don't know what to do with. But when other people kind of tell you, hey, you look pretty today, it really does help. But looks honestly don't matter. It's about personality. And a lot of the time, most people compliment me on my personality, so I'm actually pretty happy with who I've become. I've accomplished a little bit of my acting career that I want to go further into. I'm just a little nervous of how to get back into it with how expensive everything is nowadays.
Yeah, yeah, but that's great. And I want to ask you one more question before we run out of time.
Okay.
So we're basically promoting your OnlyFans, which is great. Are you looking for ways to explode your OnlyFans to the level of 20,000 subscribers, 50,000, 150,000 subscribers?
I don't know the heck how to do that quite yet, but I'm gonna take this a step at a time. And I've
Hmm.
been doing a lot of research and I've been taking a lot of notes and I am learning a lot. And I still have a lot to accomplish. And honestly, I get asked by other girls that I went to school with how to start one a lot.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
obviously, I'm doing something right.
Yeah, well, you always were doing something right. You're always going to be doing something right. As long as you do by your heart, I think you're right, you know. Um, Years ago, I'm going to put this in at the end of this segment because I think it's relative and I got just a few minutes. Years ago, we were working on, I used to work for a casting director in Hollywood, Scotty Lazarus, who has since passed. Rest in peace, Scotty. But anyway, he was a top casting director, and there was a job that we had that was a Metallica video that was going to be shown in Europe, and it required the lead girl was going to be playing a stripper, and she had to be completely head to toe, full naked. Uh, and it was a good paying job, like $10,000 plus it was Metallica. So a lot of people who were involved in the adult industry who have no problem getting naked for $1,000 were there because they were like, $10,000. Yeah, I do this for way less. Give me a job. Anyway, long story short, during that week, I was talking to a lot of people who were in the adult industry, and I was asking them the question, well, how did you get started? What made you get interested in this? And how do you even bring it up in a conversation, And one gentleman I spoke with had the best answer. He said, I just bring it out in the very first 10 seconds of a conversation. That way we all know what we're talking about. Because I just was walking down the street the other day. I saw this beautiful girl and I walked up to her. I gave her my business card and I said, listen, I think you're beautiful. I'd love to make a video of you sucking my cock. Give me a call. I was like, well, that's only going to get you one or two answers. So there you go. Wow. So, and I've always thought that. I thought if you were going to be, not you, but if a person was going to be into pornography, for example, then their spouse should also understand it and be comfortable with it because hiding it in the closet, it's never going to work. It's going to come
No.
out eventually. And when it comes out that way, it's going to be ugly. But I think it's great between two consenting adults. Okay, so I got time for one last question. And it's a question I've been wanting to ask you for a long time since I've known you. Sierra, if you met a person who is in the same position that you are 10 years ago, what would your advice be to that person? What caveat, what warning, what would you say to that person?
So or that would be around when I was 11 years old. And honestly, around that time, it was the end of the school year and I was being bullied by a kid in my class. And I felt just very suicidal. I didn't really have a lot of friends. I didn't have a lot of self esteem. So I felt very suicidal and I didn't feel very happy at the time. So if I would just say anything, everybody should just be themselves whenever it comes to it. Because honestly, you're going to come across a lot of people in life who are going to tell you what to do with your life. And you just need to set straight up boundaries. And if you're feeling suicidal, you should really see a therapist because honestly, they really help. I've been seeing one ever since I was 11, and they can be very supportive.
And that is what's up. So, how do we find you if we want to pleasantly stalk you on your social media? Where do we need to go to stay
All right.
fans?
Well, you can see me on Twitter. I'm Sunflower07 2001. And then you can also look me up on OnlyFans, Sunflower Scarlet 21. And then I also have another one that's free that you can subscribe to, which is Sunflower Girl 21.
And that is what's up. It's been Sierra Pittman on the show today. Thank you so much for being my guest. And follow her, subscribe, and support is very important. Support is the key word there. And you know what I say at the end of the show, man. Live the life you love. Love the life you live. Thank you.
Thank you.